Hi guys, it's about quarter after 2 right now, Eastern. It's about quarter after 1 right now, Central, on this Sunday, September 30th, 2012. I'm Stephen Boyle. Well, taking a check on what's going on across the country here, we do have some fairly warm weather going on in California. Wet conditions across the Gulf Coast where severe weather could be possible today into parts of Mississippi and Alabama and the southeast tomorrow. We're also going to be talking about some cool weather and maybe even some snow for parts of the northern plains here. So we'll get to that in just a second. But first, let's look at the radar imagery. Portions of Texas have picked up over 10 inches of rain. Some localized spots have picked up 10 inches of rain in Texas associated with this system. Now, the system is generally moving in this particular direction. Okay, so I expect the Ohio River Valley to get some rain. Not necessarily as heavy as this is, but definitely some rain, and definitely well-needed rain. And again, you can see some of these storms that are starting to form across the Gulf Coast. And again, that's generally the situation. We also have some of this heavy rain into Maine today. This is what this low actually did was it actually went up like this, and now it's curving like this because there's an area of high pressure up here into portions of Canada. And that's what storms do when there's blocking, is they kind of come around like this and then they curve back up. And why do they do that? Because, well, it's an area of high pressure. And when you have an area of high pressure, lows tend to go around them. They don't like to go into them. So that's what's going on here. So that's why we have some rain up here in Maine today. And all of this is moving in this direction. I'll put this into motion so you can see what I'm talking about with both systems. Moving in this particular direction. And, whoops. So again, you can sort of see that this system is moving in this direction up towards the Ohio River Valley. Also, we have this system. There's that system. You can see that this is moving in this direction through Maine today. So that's what's going on here with the two systems here right now in the country. So let's take a check on the models here. This is the NAM. And you can sort of see here is that low pressure system, and it does look like it's going to move up into the Ohio River Valley, possibly some rains for portions of the northeast as we move along into, by next Thursday, or by this upcoming Thursday. Taking a check on the Canadian model. We do have, the Canadian is saying that this is going to move more along like this, move more across the coast, up the coast, giving New England some rain. We'll see what happens with that. We also have this very powerful front. This is where we're going to get the snows into portions of the northern plains, particularly Minnesota. Then also we have this area of low pressure that could move up into New England, or maybe just miss New England, giving us a little bit of rain. So we'll see what happens with that. Taking a check on the GFS. This is the, I believe, the 0Z. This is the 0Z run of the GFS. So you can see there's the low pressure system. That looks like it's going to move up into the Ohio River Valley. However, there could be a secondary low pressure system that forms along the east coast, and that could give us some pretty interesting rains by next Wednesday or Wednesday evening. Then, of course, you can sort of see that there's the frontal system that really cools things down. You can see this major trough in the east. You can also see that here we go. Here's another low pressure system. And then you can sort of see that we start warming things up just a little bit by around the 14th. And then look at this massive cold front moving through. So we'll see what happens by around that time. Could be quite interesting. Alright, here's the 6Z run. And you can see this system moving up into portions of the Ohio River Valley. However, again, it does look like there could be a secondary low pressure system that moves up into New England. We'll see what happens with that. We get a major cool down, bringing widespread frosts into the north. Then we could be warming things up just a tad by around the 14th, and we could be talking about a system moving through. But then look at what's going on up in here. We have a major system. Whether or not this actually happens, I'm not sure. But if this were to come down, this would bring in wicked cold air. Okay, so let's take a check and on the 12Z runs of the GFS, and you can sort of see, again, there's that low pressure system, maybe a secondary low moving through New England, giving us a little bit of rain. And then there's the frontal system, major cold, maybe a little bit of snow into parts of northern Maine by Thursday the 11th. So not this Thursday, but next Thursday. We'll see what happens with that. And then you can see just a brief warm-up. And then it looks like we'll talk about a cool down. But at this particular point, that system that was up in here doesn't look like it'll be happening. Let's take a check on the snowfall just so that you can see what's going on here. There's that snow that's expected into parts of Montana. Then you also got some snow also into portions of the northern plains, like I said, parts of North Dakota. And again, Minnesota is really where the snowfall is being eyed at this particular point, where some localized areas could be picking up maybe over 5 inches of snow. So we'll see what happens. And also portions of Ontario will be seeing major snows up into those regions. We're talking about possibly a major snowstorm for them, where they could be picking up 25-30 inches of snow. And then also you can sort of see, as this pattern continues to move along, you can see a little bit of snow possible into extreme northern New England, including extreme northern Vermont as well. And then also you can see maybe another snowstorm, and again, this is according to the 0Z, around the 14th for portions of the northern plains. But we'll have to see what happens with that. Again, the 0Z is the only model that suggests that. Here's the snow, though, for portions of Montana and also portions of Minnesota. We have a pretty nice snowstorm for portions of Ontario. We also have maybe some snows still possible into northern New England as well. So we'll see what happens with that. And again, here's the 12Z. This is the most recent runs of the GFS. And again, you can see possibly here into portions of northern Minnesota, 5 to 6 inches of snow. So maybe some localized regions picking up that. Also, portions. The 12Z does suggest a little bit more snow, maybe a little bit of snow into portions of Michigan, and then some snow into portions of northern New England. Actually, they do have quite a good snow event for portions of northern New Hampshire and central Maine. Again, whether or not that'll happen, I'm not sure yet, but quite interesting and generally a fairly cool trend. So we'll see what happens. At this particular point, though, I am pretty sure that these regions of Montana and Wyoming will be picking up snows, as well as these parts of Minnesota a little later on this week. So get ready for that. So that's again what's going on across the country. I hope you all have a great rest of your afternoon. I hope you guys join me for my chat a little later on tonight, and have a nice day.